This is the Night Owls Disc Golf Podcast. I'm Shane.
And I'm JP.
All right, JP. Not so much Night Owls anymore.
Not today.
It is roughly, 11:30. We're supposed to start at 10:30.
Yeah, I got sidetracked. I stopped to get coffee and I got into a conference. I briefly asked somebody, I'm like, oh, hey, how's it going? I thought they'd just be like, oh, fine. And then it turned into like a 20-minute conversation.
Yeah.
And that 20-minute conversation was about 10 minutes before I was supposed to be here. And I'm one of those people too, where once somebody starts talking, I hate cutting people off, cutting them short. I'm like, and she had her phone out. My phone was in the car and I was looking down at it. I'm like, oh no, I'm 5 minutes late. Oh no, I'm 10 minutes late. Like,
And then I think I texted you like 15 minutes in. I was like, I'm in the shop, just so you know.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
honestly, I
my
thought I heard you pull up. And I was like, oh, I'll just shoot him a text real quick. And it must have been someone else, like my mom coming back or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Or next door neighbors, who knows. Yeah, so door_disc_golf, night_owls_pod. And then doordisc.com is where you can get all of your disc golf needs. And then Whatnot, which is, man, why do I always forget the Whatnot name?
I think it's just Door Disc.
Is it?
Or Door Disc Golf.
Yeah. I think it was Door Disc Golf Late Night or something weird like that. What was it? The tag that they do? I'm not sure how Whatnot works. So
I don't remember what
But
it's
if you look up
called.
Door Disc Golf, you'll find it.
Yes.
For sure. So we had another one that just went on.
Door
And
Disc After Dark.
That's what it is. Door Disc After
But
Dark.
you can just look up Door Disc Golf and it'll take you.
Yeah, it'll pull up. So we had another one, and then I have probably another 150 discs from my personal collection. And you want to know something sad?
What's that?
It doesn't look like I've taken any discs out of it. I have so many discs.
I hear you.
It's stupid.
I
And
know.
then since we're selling my in-laws are selling the Vegas house.
Mm-hmm.
All those discs we had at Vegas ended up in my garage just recently too.
Oh, dang.
So I called Jordan. I was like, so what do you want to do? He came over and looked and he goes, I don't know. I was like, well, I can just keep them. It's not a big deal. And he was like, well, if you want to use them for the shop, use them for the shop. So I might have those also, but it's just like, we have at least another 100 discs from Vegas. And then each of us had a cart out there. We both had bags out there. Like, we have so much stuff.
That's insane.
I mean, I could start a store just with the stuff that I have.
Sure.
Personally. Like, it's crazy. So, yeah. But anyways, with that being said, there will be some nice stuff being dropped because I went through some of my old stuff too. So I have some decent stuff that's going to be coming up for sale on
Whatnot.
Yeah, on Whatnot. So what our plan is essentially we use almost all of our used discs, and some of my discs are never been used. They were just, I liked that discs. I bought, 4 or 5 of them.
I hear you.
Maybe I threw 2 or 3 of them, and then 2 of them sat there. So there's actually some brand new stuff that's going to go up. But what we'll do is we run them on Whatnot. And if we don't sell on Whatnot, then we'll put it up on the site for used.
Yeah.
So, but I'll be dropping a lot of that stuff off pretty soon.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of want to get on that train as well.
I know.
Because I have so many, like, mystery box discs, Palooza discs, whatever it is that I'm like, cool, I have all these. And I'm like, I'm not throwing any of it. And
Right.
yeah, like you said, they're practically brand new, like box kept, bag kept, whatever it is, that just don't touch them.
Right. Well, and that's it. I like it. Sometimes I would do it to support other players or do just stuff like that, or other shops that I would like, or how many tournaments in the AM level did I play that I just got discs for? Like, there's so many of those things, and I just was never good about getting rid of discs. I just threw them in a bag and they sat in my truck or wherever. And then so we finally just, I'm going to end up giving a lot of them to the shop just for Whatnot. So
Right on.
be pretty good. And then, let's see. So today we're going to be talking about some off-season broadcast shakeups, which I don't think is any surprise to many people that keep up on disc golf. We'll also talk about, with that, what about the studio in Milwaukee? So we'll do a little bit of that. And then we'll do disc golf media fan survey. We'll just quickly, briefly go over that one. We'll talk some player movement, and then random and thought-provoking question, and maybe some House of Disc speculations. So we have a friendly text out to a friend of ours to see if there's any nuggets that we can actually share about House of Discs, specifically DD. And if I get a text back while we're on here, we'll share some.
Right on.
But outside of that, what have you been up to in the last week? 2 or 3, rather.
I know.
By the way, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah. Let's see. What have we been up to? Christmas, obviously, came and went. My side of the family my parents got sick, so we had to delay Christmas till after New Year's.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we just got done with that this past weekend in Green Bay. And then it's been just like bumming around, not really doing much, hanging out at home. Dempsey had basketball practice like off and on throughout winter break for school. So it's like, well, and they're at weird times during the day.
Yeah.
Like he would have basketball practice from 11 to 1 or, like it's just weird. I'm like, what if people have plans?
Yeah.
And he'd say like, oh, the whole team's not the whole team would show up, but there was a couple days, but I'm like, yeah, I don't blame people for not showing up for basketball practice during this break when times are kind of ridiculous and everything.
Especially when it's not a scheduled thing. It's kind of like, well, I got time. Okay, I'll call practice. It was what it kind of seemed like.
Sure.
You
Yeah.
know? Yeah. Yeah. All right.
And then New Year's is just nothing.
Right.
Stayed up for as long as we could and went to bed.
Sure. New Year's is one of those things like I don't know if I've ever really loved New Year's, even like college days and stuff. Like, it's just never something I was just like, just not my style.
Yeah.
And I understand, like, with kids, we had to start staying up because it's kind of a big deal for kids, like, I want to stay up to the New Year's. But even that, we're just like, all right, have a good night. Happy New Year's. We're going to bed.
Yeah.
But this last year we didn't because my daughter had her boyfriend over. So
Ooh.
I stayed up.
Okay.
Yeah. That was very, it's a weird dynamic, this whole teenage daughter, first boyfriend thing.
Yeah, I can imagine.
As a dad. So nothing bad. It's just trying to learn how to navigate that one. So, but yeah, so we had our Christmas and my brother was here.
Nice.
And then, so we got to just kind of catch up. I mean, my brother and I guess this is kind of true for me anyways, but we just don't talk. Like, we talk when we talk, and there's no like, neither of us are great about communicating through text or, calling. If we're standing in front of you, much like you, like, I'll talk to you all day.
Oh, yeah.
But like text or calling, like, I'll see it. I understand, like, if someone sends me a text, like, I read it, but a lot of times I just don't respond to it, which is not good. But I don't know if it's really something I care to really get better about, other than a few people. Like, you want to respond back to certain people that need, the information. But outside of that, but we opened presents and went on a Lambo tour. So we went down to the stadium, and they had never been there before. So we did the whole, like, the
Hall of Fame and all that.
Yeah, the whole shindig.
Yeah,
like whatever
that's cool.
Their fanciest tour was. But it was the day before the game, so we couldn't go into the visitor locker rooms like normal.
Oh, okay.
So we went down near the locker rooms, like we could smell the locker rooms, but
We could smell. Oh, smells like sweat and pigskin.
yeah, exactly. It smells like man musk. And then so then we did that and just had a good old time. And then we went to a Green Bay Gambler game, which is that hockey Gambler.
Nice.
Right? Yeah.
Okay. I haven't been to one of those in a long time.
We were 2 rows off the glass. Dude, it was so cool.
That's awesome.
Like, usually when we sit about 10 or 15 rows up, like, and it's still good. It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
And I think there's advantages to both, like being on the glass. It's really, really freaking cool when they're right in front of you. Mm-hmm. But on the same side of the glass, on the other side of the ring, like, you can't see anything.
Sure.
And of course that's where the only fight happened, was down there. And I was just like, seriously. And so you're like standing up and doing the weird, like, rubberneck thing, But it was cool. It was a good, fun hockey game. by far one of my favorite athletic events to watch.
Okay. Yeah.
I know nothing about it. I have no clue what the calls and penalties and why they keep facing off against each other. Nothing. I know nothing about that stuff.
I mean, the big ones probably usually icing. You know,
that's
like
2 lines, right?
Yeah.
So it can't pass 2
so like
lines.
when you're clearing the puck, you can't cross both blue lines.
But there's sometimes where like they'll clear it from way behind their goal all the way to the other goal, and then that goalkeeper will touch it, but it's not icing.
Yeah, it's
There's this weird, like,
it's weird. It's like if another player besides the goalie has to touch it or something like that. I don't remember what the situation is.
Yeah, I didn't know because like the kids were asking me stuff, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I have zero clue at all. But we had seven people with 7 seats. It was fun. I mean, I really enjoyed it. Like,
did Ezra go?
Ezra went. Yeah.
Okay, so
and he actually loved it. Like,
oh, really?
He was good. He was good all the way up until probably the start of the 3rd period.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a period, right?
Yeah.
Start of the 3rd period, and then he started to get a bit antsy. So we had to walk around the stadium a couple times, you know. But he was good, man. He got up into the stadium and just started sprinting around like that area, which is fine, but and we're in Wisconsin, in Green Bay, at a Gamblers game, so I'm not too terribly worried about it. But man, it's just like he's just darting, and he was purposefully going like if like a huddle of like 3 or 4 people were walking, he'd find a gap and shoot between them. You're just like, and everybody was completely cool with it. It was just one of those like small town living, you know?
Yeah,
like,
right. Oh, at basketball games, I always love when he's cruising around in his little yellow cross.
Yes. Yes.
He's just like little feet.
Yes. Well, that's so funny because there's some days where he just like hams it up. He'll come walking in and he has his little strut and he'll just be like, meh, meh, because he's at the squeaking mode, you know? And he'll just be like looking at people, waving at people, smiling at people. And then there's other days where he's just like super focused. He has to go find the seat, you know?
Okay,
and,
sure.
But it's fun. Like he's pretty good, and he's been to so many sporting events now. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. So, but yeah, so that was kind of us, you know. I mean, basketball practice for both of the kids, the older kids, and as far as stuff like we did, like adult wise, catered to the kids, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
That was what we did. So, but yeah, that was that. And then plowing, lots of snow around here. So even if we wanted to go play disc golf, probably not the most amazing time to play it because there's not even a crust on the top. Really.
Yeah, I know everything. It's been warming up. Like the past couple of days have been warm, and now I mean it's like 40 degrees outside.
Yeah,
but
and sunny.
Which is good. But it's weird because it's just been that snow where you just sink in. It's slushy and just nasty.
Yeah. There's no hard pack or crust. Like it's weird this whole time, and it's been amazingly icy wherever there's not snow. It's just super icy.
Yeah.
So and up in Door County, so anybody of the Wisconsin listeners, like we got hammered. Like we got a lot more snow than most areas. And I don't know, like usually we're the ones that get less snow, but for some reason it's just been hanging out on us.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the bay did freeze over, so I mean that could be part of it. But yeah,
Sure.
But yeah, I was because south of us, my sister's like, oh, we got nothing, and even the latest storm that came, we got it, and then Sturgeon Bay, which is like 45 minutes south of us. Melissa was talking to her sister. She's like, "Oh yeah, it didn't start snowing there until about 9 o'clock, but up here it started snowing at like 6:30.
Yeah.
So yeah, just different. It's funny how those things work out.
Yeah. So, but that's all right though. I mean, it is what it is. Because I actually got the hair like 2 days ago to go play. I was like, oh, I want to go play.
I know. I felt that way like yesterday. Yesterday was the first day, or maybe it was 2 days ago that I got done with work before sunset.
Ooh.
Yeah. I was like, this
catching
is
up
awesome.
On the package, Christmas deliveries.
Yes, absolutely. And I did actually get some discs for Christmas, so that was kind of nice.
What'd you get?
I got 2 iBlend Wraiths. Like,
okay.
They're infinite. Had like Innova's not making them, so like they're infinite exclusives.
Innova's not making Wraiths anymore?
Oh, no, I mean they are, but like the blend, like the plastic blend of the iBlend is just exclusive to Infinite Discs, I guess.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
And the iBlend, is that kind of tackier?
Yeah, it's got like, I don't know how to explain it. It's weird. It's got they have blizzard rims. It's kind of starish, but like it's a mix of star and something else.
Yeah.
That I'm not really sure.
And it almost seems like it's delaminating, right? It almost seems like
bit.
it's peeling. Yeah,
Almost.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
weird. Yeah, because I've got a couple other iBlend discs, and they're considerably. I think they're easier to make lighter weights out of. So yeah, it's interesting. I obviously haven't thrown them yet because weather hasn't been great, but
Right.
We'll get to it.
Exactly. I mean, it'll be muddy enough pretty soon, so we'll get to it. So, all right, well, let's start talking about some of the topics at hand. So, let's start with House of Discs speculation.
Sure, why not?
So, we had some conversations about House of Discs, and we've overheard some conversations about House of Discs, and actually, a local our fellow Wisconsin podcasters, the disc golf world, they're Wisconsin, right?
Yeah,
that's what I thought. They talked about kind of the rumor that specifically DD, but almost all House of Disc, basically they were given the option, like, hey, if you want to go somewhere else, go ahead. Like, you can break your contract. You don't have to live up to any the things that we've had. And if I remember rightly, we've heard that before.
Sure.
And from House of Discs, and I want to say it was last year, that they were just like, hey, if you want to go, go. And I think it's just an easy way of saying, we can't afford you. We can't afford to buy you out of your contract. But if you want to leave, big thumbs up to you.
Yeah, right.
We're not going to hold you to this contract, which I think is good. I mean, I honestly think seems smart. I assume that, likes of like Burr and all those people that are, on Discmania that are actually pulling in some weight. I assume they wouldn't give them that option, but
No,
you never know.
Probably not. I would think that they're like, hey, you guys are pretty important.
Yeah.
Which is weird. I mean, not weird because Gavin's a world champion. That they would prefer him to stick around, obviously, which is interesting. His caddy Matt, ended up signing with Discraft.
Yeah.
So that's kind of an interesting thing. But
It's gonna be a weird dynamic.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah. So like, who's it? So
I just got a text.
Dynamic Discs recently let go of Raven Klein, Ty Love, and Evan Smith, and then Robert Burge, Parker Welk, they re-signed, and then they also have Macy Valadiaz and Zach Milton. So they have 4 players on their tour team currently.
Wow. Okay. So I got a text back from Bobby.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, we're signing Macbeth. ... Just kidding. His brother, right? Yeah. So I'll text back.
John.
Yeah. It's hard to do this with one hand.
Yeah, holding him. We have mic stands coming, so that'll be a big plus. But I mean, there's long been rumored, since last year, that we've been talking about Dynamic Discs and House of Discs kind of, it used to be West Side was always kind of treated as the redheaded stepchild. Sorry to use that term, but they're kind of the afterthought.
They're the one they forgot in the basement now.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden everybody's kind of like, oh, what's happening? What's happening to DD? What's happening? And Disc Golf World actually on Instagram the other day, they've been, I think, just taking clips from their shows and putting them out on there. They asked who's the face of House of Discs, and I replied Bobby. But
exactly.
I didn't know because I didn't know if they meant brand wise it's Dynamic. It would be Gannon, Matty O for West Side, and then DD. Like, I do consider Bobby and Eric the faces of them. But as far as a spokesperson for the whole encompassing House of Discs, I would say Bobby for sure, even though he's not out there pushing. He's specifically House of Discs, but I still associate him with that.
I agree. Yeah, Bobby is very much like he is DD. And I have seen them making a very clear move to grassroots. And you like the recent interview on Disc Golf Answer Man with the players. I'm not sure if you keep up on his podcast or not, but they're players that they're kind of...
Oh, yeah, I did see something a little bit about that.
They're more community-driven players. They're players that do something for the sport.
Right.
Which is kind of where Discraft I mean, where Dynamic started. I mean, that's how they found, I mean, obviously they had the clothing brand and stuff like that, but I mean, that's where they were. They were grassroots. They were always the people's brand.
You know what's funny about this situation is going away from pro players, it kind of reminds me a couple of, I hate to say it, but Lone Star a little bit. I mean, not totally, because like Lone Star was kind of trying to, with the Ranger team, and like getting back to just spreading their reach, like community wise. Maybe like, you know, sponsoring some more tournaments here and there, but they started not really caring about the pro side of things. I'm not saying that's DD's goal or whatever, but it does seem like they want their reach to be more, maybe stepping back on the pro side of things a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird.
Well, I think they are. I think it's, I mean, you might see something, you know, because I can't tell. I'm not in the boardroom. I'm not, you know, and I'm trying to pry it out of someone to let me say something. To let me say something, but I just, you know, like I'm not in the boardroom, so I'm not at liberty to say certain things.
Yeah.
And, well, not even, I don't know certain things, you know, there's simply just like, but there is a move to be, like I said, more grassroots, less professional. But if they get an opportunity to sign a name, now, you know, my stance on pros and needle moving, like no pro is worth the money they're being paid because they don't move the needle. Macbeth, you know, there's those exceptions. We won't go over them again. If you want to yell at us on comments or wherever, email us, go ahead. But, and it's at JP. No, it's what, Poopy Pants Disc Golfer? No.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
But I did like, I don't know why I did end up setting up a Night Owl's email account at one point.
Did you?
Yeah.
And what's the email address?
I think it's Night Owl. I don't even remember.
Is it a Gmail account?
Yes, it's Gmail. It might be Night Owl's pod at gmail.com.
All right, there you go. So you can email any of our questions, because I've always just had you do it to throw, and I still monitor the email address, but
yeah. And then, I mean, anybody's able to reach out to us on social media, like Instagram or whatever, if they want to comment that way. So.
Yeah. So if there's any kickback, let us know. But yeah, as far as the pros go, like there's very few that move the needle. And when it comes to DD, I mean, they're losing market share like quite dramatically through the last couple of years. I think some recent acquisitions as far as employees go, and I just lost my headphones. As far as employees go, I think it's helping, you know, and I'll say that openly at Bobby. Like, I think Bobby's helping at least stop that curve from going down. I think the market itself is balancing out. I'm just an absolute mess right now. Give me a second. I'll finish the thought and then I'll get back to it. It's weird because you hear yourself in the microphone. I mean, in your headphones when you're talking to the microphone. And then when your headphones fall off, it's really strange because it can't hear. So I feel off. Anyway, so where was I at with the conversation?
That Bobby is at least helping a little bit with. Yeah,
you know, Bobby's helped stabilize and then with the market itself actually finally hitting a stable-ish point where it's not dropping like it was. It's starting to level off a little bit. You know, I think we'll start to see the new normal. And I hate using that term because there's no such thing as a normal because it's always dynamic. It's always, it's always dynamic. It's always changing. But once you see that new normal that you can start kind of setting your perspectives off of, then we'll start to see the real teams start to come back together, I think.
Sure.
You know, with the exclusion of Innova and Discraft, they're always, well, not always, but historically almost have always had huge teams. It's just Discraft has really stepped up their game in the last 5 years since Macbeth, 7 years since Macbeth. But prior to that, Innova was like, someone was like, hey, I'm on the Innova team. Like, so is 75% of this field. Like,
sure.
like everybody was in Innova for a while. But that's a good thing. I mean, that's how they promoted their brand. They were very, like you said, they were very, very Lone Star-ish. So I think the difference between Lone Star and Dynamic Discs, and I'll finish that thought and then I'll put my headphones back on. But I think the difference between Lone Star and Dynamic Discs is that Lone Star did it in a very manipulative, money-grabbing way.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how they set their negative persona, And that's, I think, why they went the direction they went. It was 100% all about the money grab.
Yeah.
I don't believe Dynamic Discs is, even now under House of Disc, I don't think that's the case at all. I mean, obviously, there's the bottom line that they have to contend with because of shareholders, or investors, but I don't think that's the case.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. It's interesting, like with the House of Discs, I thought that maybe that they would get in and get out, like they're like, okay, we got our money like returned. Now we can kind of dissolve House of Discs and you guys can just kind of go your separate ways and decide, manufacturing wise, if you want to continue with the agreements you have set up with, Latitude and having them produce discs and all that. But yeah, it's interesting that they've actually continued on with the conglomerate.
Yeah. I think what happened is they went whole ham and then they did the expansion on the Lat 64 plant.
Yeah.
I think they're just too deep into it and they're trying to get their money back. I don't think they ever saw their money back.
No, that's probably true.
Especially with some of the big signings they did. And so, but that's, it is what it is. That's the trend of disc golf. I mean, that's, people are going to make speculations and purchases based on speculation, and purchases include teams and, infrastructure. And unfortunately, we've hit a peak of a wave, and not saying that trough is going to last forever. I mean, it will hit the wave again, but, smart money needs to be spent now until that next wave comes.
Yeah, and it definitely does seem that House of Discs, it definitely did benefit 2 or 3 of those companies more than others.
It sure did.
Yeah, like Latitude for sure, Discmania for sure, and then you see the drop off with like Castoplast, DD, and Westside. So
yeah,
unfortunate.
Well, in Castoplast, I think they were probably prove me wrong. Like, I'm sitting at a folding table with a sign on it right now. Prove me wrong. But the acquisition of Castoplast, I think they took the biggest hit out of all the House of Disc brands. And I think the reason why is because they were this niche, like FOMO brand that they didn't have high production, and it was hard to get their stuff.
Yeah,
and so when they would drop their first run stuff in that minty green color, like, you couldn't keep it in stock. There was nothing you could do. I mean, people just jumped on it now. Like, you go browse the catalog and it's still sitting in the bin ready to buy, like for wholesale. So, you think about stuff like that, and they just don't have that same, the Berg is dead. Like, who talks about the Berg anymore? Now, I think Foundation had a little bit to do with that too, but they're, it's kind of dead. So, speaking of Foundation, let's make our little, unless you have some more to talk about.
No, that's fine.
All right. Foundation has violently and aggressively let go of Robbie C. It was a horrible, horrible situation. You should have seen it. There were tears, and none of that's true.
It would have been pretty epic to have a Foundation Robbie C throwdown.
Wouldn't it have been awesome if they would have played the game where they, like, did this whole, like, back and forth, like, and then, let it go on for about 2 or 3 days. Like, you're garbage. Your business practices are just, blah, blah, blah. The way you take advantage of your employees, just stuff like that. And then just at the end be like, JK, love you guys. Thanks for the time.
Yeah, exactly.
It would have been so much better.
Air out the dirty laundry. Yeah, Trevor's a real D-bag.
Yeah. That guy.
Hunter. And Connor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then, so Robbie C has decided to shift his perspective slightly. And it sounds like the foundation parting from everything that everybody is saying and that what Robbie says, which he's the one that matters, that's completely mutual and friendly, no issues whatsoever. And it sounded like Hunter was like, hey, man, I wish you luck. And it doesn't sound like there's a never again, but it does sound like for now.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to leave things kind of open-ended, like you allow yourself. Yeah, you don't ever want to like fully close the door and when you split. But yeah, and he's going to be cutting back on content creation. He's going to do 2 or 3 videos a month. I didn't watch his video that came out, but I just kind of saw. And I guess In the Bag was going to run a Q&A or do an episode about the future of their podcast, you know, with Robbie and Connor, or not Connor, forgot
the big guy, right?
Yeah. Shoot, forgot his name because I haven't listened to that in a little while either. But yeah, so they were just going to kind of address what's going to go on going forward with that. But I mean, I get it as far as cutting back because, right, like you have your personal life, you have your family, which was one of the reasons he decided to cut back on doing content. But I think a lot of people really got value out of Robbie's videos, whether it was, the Berg battles, which it started, or Buzz battles, and just, beginner friendly videos, helping form, technique, whatever it was. I think a lot of people really enjoyed him, and his personality was very I don't know if charismatic's the right word, but he just drew people in very well.
Wholesome and inviting is kind of what I get from it.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
how I perceive him. Yeah. He seems like a guy that you could instantly become best friends with.
Yeah, very much so.
And whether that's the case or not, that's what he gives off. Yeah, so I'll paraphrase and I guess this is the best understanding that I have from the information that I was given, but essentially he became disenchanted with chasing the algorithm. And instead of doing the videos that he feels his heart is kind of telling him to do, he was chasing the numbers because that's how he makes his money. That's how he supports his family.
Yeah.
And so when you do 35 videos about how to gain more distance, it doesn't fill the heart. So he essentially felt that he was becoming disenchanted with just the whole content creation because he wasn't doing what he wanted to do. He was doing what he needed to do to make money. And I think you see this a lot with burnout, and this is all part of it, because you're chasing things that the YouTube gods have said, this is how you're going to make your money. And he's just tired of it. So what he's doing is, due to his family situation changing, aka having a child, and having some of the conversations with other people that are in the same industry and situation, he's just decided that he's going to step back, kind of start focusing on making money in an alternate way, and then doing the videos he likes to do and that fill him up rather than chasing that algorithm.
Yeah.
And the only way he can do that is by kind of stepping away from his responsibilities with foundation and focusing on creating his own new stuff. And he has a couple alternative passions now that he's kind of leaning into a little bit more with his other, channels and stuff. So, and he did mention that he's kind of an all or nothing kind of guy.
Sure.
So, when he decided to do these other things, he's kind of putting a lot into it. So we'll see. We'll see if it's another, pinnacle or icon of disc golf walking away because of burnout.
Yeah. Content creation is one of those weird things too, because you're competing with so many eyes, right? You have, okay, well, this person did this kind of video, I'm going to do this video, but then it's like, okay, well, there's overlap because there's so many people. It's like, okay, the distance video, the putting video, the forehand video, and all these people are putting out the same stuff. It's like, well, who do you decide to go to? But with Robbie, he's been around for quite some time. So obviously, if you're already built into his system, you're probably going to go to him. But it's tough. I mean, and even with foundation, coming up with ideas for content, they do bogey bro battles, whatever. They have the Survivor style video. I mean, that itself is something kind of new, to grasp people. The imposter,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So I mean, that's something at least kind of fresh in the ideas of content creation. But you could just be like, okay, distance, internet distance, or how to gain distance, and you'll get a myriad of videos popping up. You know,
absolutely.
and it's just so hard.
Yeah. And some are good, some aren't. But, with the pedigree that Robbie C had, it was essentially he was working through the issues at the same time he was teaching you about them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because he would talk about working with his coach on things, and then he'd try to apply that to some of his videos, and then so that's an I don't know, that's interesting. But I do like that maybe his coach wasn't willing to do videos himself, so he's like, well, you mind if I take this lesson or idea that you've shared with me and bring it over to my channel?
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, exactly. And I don't even know maybe he's mentioned who his coach is or not, but
I forgot who his coach is.
Yeah. But I mean, that's great. And I know he's had a few renditions, and I know when he first started, there was none. And then he went through the mental battles, but he was very vulnerable with his disc golf experience. And I think that helped him grow an audience that he grew, because he wasn't trying to play it up. But, you think about like the foundation guys, they are very performative. There's nothing vulnerable or honest about what they do. It's very performative, right? And that's fine. There are no issues with that whatsoever. Not trashing him for it, because that's how Mr. Beast became super, super popular. But Mr. Beast has entered into this age now also where he's starting to become very vulnerable with stuff. And then Chris happened, and then that stopped for a little bit. But you look at how he did things. He was that from the very beginning. He was just like, this is who I am. This is what I'm struggling with. This is what I suck at. This is what I'm good at. This is what I'm getting better at. And he was really good about it. So he never claimed to be the best, but he said, hey, come along to my experience, And I think him and Jesse were very, from Trash Panda, are very similar in that way, that they're just very they're honest. They're vulnerable. They're like, this is what we're dealing with. Like, this is how I'm screwing stuff up. Like, this is how I cost myself this much money, with Jesse. So it's sad to see him walk away and not do as much content, but I think his content will be better for it.
Yeah.
Is what I'm hoping. And I think it'll kind of go back to that more candid, like, this is me. This is how I do things. This is what I'm struggling with. This is what I'm improving on, So it's pretty neat. But, we'll see. So sad identity to leave. It's a Lindahl, it's a Danny Lindahl situation where he said he was going to back away for a little bit, and then just like a fart in the wind, he's gone, Yeah,
so, crazy.
Yeah. You get a whiff of him and you're like, whoa, where'd it go? So with that being said, I guess it is what it is. Who would be your creator that you would be super sad if they left the scene?
Ooh. Like any genre, or like just disc golf?
I think disc golf.
Oh, man.
Because I hate to say this, there's no creator that I'm super in love with right now in disc golf.
Yeah, I think Simon. Simon. I think that would be one for sure. I think a lot of people would get over that. But yeah, like you're saying, like, I'm not super in love with anybody's disc golf channel really as far as content creation goes. I will peruse here and there. I was watching Bodanza for a while, but I haven't been watching a whole lot of disc golf content recently, just because we've been busy. I think if Jomez, obviously that's like, if they were to stop doing post-production, I think a lot of people would be like, I'm done.
I much prefer it. I much prefer their post-production than watching live.
Yeah.
Or any other post-production. I mean, I know Central Coast was kind of the OGs of post-production, but I don't want to watch. Well, they're not the OGs, but they were the OG of modern post-production. Let's say that.
Sure.
Because you still got the Disc Golf guy. You still got, Disc Golf Planet. You had all those people. I would say, I don't know. I mean, I enjoy Disc Golf World. They're a new fascination for me, probably within the last 4 to 5 months.
Yeah.
simply because of how outrageous they are sometimes.
True.
And how clickbaity they are. Mm-hmm. And I enjoy that. Like, it's fun because then I get to be pissed off at them or super happy for them when they get it right, or pissed off when they, but they're very much a like, I know something you don't know. Like,
Right. But they are the people we were talking about algorithm, and they are very much trying to manipulate the algorithm to get
for sure
to get the views.
Yep, they chase it for sure, and they're doing a good job. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm usually a very cynical person when it comes to content, and they get me every single time. I'll see their little clip, or I'll watch their reel, their little short, and you're just like, oh, now I got to find that video. And then it ends up being nothing. I mean, even like admittedly about the whole, they overheard Yuli saying on Tour Life about something, there's big changes or a big shakeup coming. And they were like, it was a big nothing burger, But that was the same thing with what's his futz last year, Drew Gibson, talking about the big shakeup. Disc golf world's going to get turned on its head, and
what was it?
nothing. So, but I guess disc golf world would be a one. I would be a little disappointed, but I would find someone real quickly after that to replace him. So it's not something I'd be like laying in bed, curled up, like shaking and sweating, like
heavy drinking.
Yeah, exactly.
What am I gonna do?
Can you go get me another Dr. Pepper, please? I might go from 0 to regular Dr. Pepper. I think. Oof. So, all right. Well, let's talk about the off-season broadcasting shakeup that's happening for DGN this coming season. You just enlightened me about it. I heard about it, but I didn't know the details of it, and you just kind of enlightened me about it. So I'll let you have the conversation. I did write some notes if you want me to.
I still kind of have it up. So it's kind of played out like a couple weeks ago since we've been gone. I think it happened between Christmas and New Year's or so. DGN announced that we will be seeing less of Terry Miller. We will not probably be seeing any of Ian Anderson at all. And they've just kind of decided to shake up the broadcast. So they announced that Brian Earhart and Nate Perkins, who was on Course Reporter, have pretty much taken over the play-by-play, and that we will be seeing Brian do a lot of things with Val and Nate Doss. Or no, Nate will be with Val and Nate Doss in like Ben's studio.
Nate
Sexton, yeah. And then Brian will be kind of doing things out of his home studio in North Carolina, and he will be hooking up with like Sarah Holcomb and Nate Perkins and I think some other people. But yeah, and then Terry was like, well, you'll probably not see me. He'll be more on course. And then I think he kind of said that maybe if things like kind of shift to the Midwest for like tournaments, you might hear him a little more because he's a little more familiar with the territory.
Yeah.
Philo is still going to be on commentary, maybe not as much as before. So yeah, just a weird shakeup. And what it sounded like is kind of had to do with a lot of the travel costs. Terry was coming from Wisconsin, Ian was coming from California, and like getting them to the on-site venues for tournaments, along with some of the other people, was just kind of cutting into the budget. And so it makes sense.
But does it? Because now you have taken what I would argue is, out of those guys, probably one of the least liked. Now, we're going to go through a fan survey, but one of the least liked commentators, and by far my least liked commentator, of Nate Doss, and putting him in this roundup, in the schedule, almost every single time.
Right.
If it's on the East Coast.
No, he would be in like West Coast, like
or
Ben.
West Coast, excuse me, yeah.
That's not to say that they were like kind of splitting it up. Like, we don't know commentary wise, like what their schedules are or like when they'll be doing it. But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I would assume just for logistics reasons, you're probably going to keep most of the, East Coast on the East Coast studio with South Carolina or with Earhart's, and then you're probably going to keep Nate's for most of the West Coast stuff.
Exactly.
Just for time and relevancy and, issues of that matter. But, I don't know. It's a situation that all the people, and this is personal, of all the people that they could have kept on broadcast, the one that I figured they would hopefully get rid of. And they were actually trying to for a little while, I thought. They were kind of lessening his role of Nate Doss. Now he's like the main dude, one of the main dudes now for NPL.
I'm wondering if it's a situation where obviously like they're recording at their brewery, like that's their studio. So it's like, how do you cut somebody out that you're like, hey, we need to use your space?
True.
So, I mean, and maybe that by them allowing them to use that, like they're cutting them a deal on sound, like who knows what it is. But like, I feel like if you're somebody that you're like, hey, we need to do this, will you let us if you're not involved? Like that's a huge, probably not you'd have to find a whole nother venue, set up everything to do it. So that's kind of a bummer. I will say this about the commentary teams, you know, like watching NFL, and specifically ESPN, NBC, Peacock, you know, they travel around and they only have one commentary team. You know, it's like, it's either Buck and Aikman on Monday Night Football, or it's Collinsworth and Tirico on Sunday Night Football. And so you see them going to every turn, you know, every game that they're scheduled for. And that makes it almost easier, you know, rather than filling in, getting people here and there. And so to me, that part, like having the rigidity of together, you know, like just having them together for so long, it makes sense. It just, to me, it makes sense. Like you just get used to these broadcast duos that I don't like the turnover as much in the studios. Even like watching halftime shows, like there's too many people in the NFL, NBA, whatever it is, talking pregame and you know, halftime. You only need a couple people. Like, why do I need 5 or 6 people's opinions on things? And even I mentioned this on like Disc Golf Fanatic page. I would actually love less commentary on disc golf. I just let it play out. Like, you don't need to explain to me every shot. You don't need to explain to me everything that's going on. Like, I can see it. But like Jomez, like one time came out with a production of, they're like, oh, we didn't have commentary. It was awesome.
Yeah, you just watched disc golf.
Watched disc golf. And maybe they had some mics pick up, you know, some conversation or something here and there from the players. But I was like, this is almost, it was like naturally being there, right?
Yes.
You're just watching them. It's like, it was awesome.
Yeah, and I could see how that would be very appealing for a lot of people. And like a lot of times it's on mute anyways for me. Like if I'm watching coverage, I'll just have it on a TV like this and there's no sound on it anyways. And so, yeah, I agree. So I like both of your points. I mean, I like the teams, and I think there is a thing to be said about building a certain level of, you know, giving teams the ability to actually build some sort of, why can't I?
Chemistry?
Chemistry, yeah. Just like the way they play off each other. And when you're switching from person to person, I mean, it's a very talented individual that can just jump into a new personality and have that chemistry right away. So allowing these teams to build up, I love that idea. But, man, the choice of the people is what I have the problem with.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe it'll be better, because the one thing that you want, the other option you said is, hey, just stop commentating. You know, like, doesn't have to be as much commentating. Like, Nate Doss does not know how to not commentate.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's, I mean, if you go back in the podcast, you can listen to all of my gripes about Nate Doss. But one of the biggest issues with Nate Doss is just like shut the pie hole for a bit. You don't have to commentate on, oh my goodness, left foot, right foot. Like, you don't have to tell me that he's walking. Like, it's okay. Like, you don't have to say, yeah, now they're walking to the next hole. Like, I know.
Yeah.
Like, but it's just that type of stuff. And I think it's a delivery and a tempo issue with me as well. But it is what it is. You know, but I usually listen on mute because there's certain people's voices. There's little things. And if I'm going to listen to you for 2 hours or 3 hours, like, I don't want to hear it.
What I really wish, though, is on-course reporters, you know, they're always like, come in, they're like, oh, we're going to check with Terry. We're going to check with Nate about, you know, what's going on. And they're like, oh, this, like, in between this whole, like, you know, what I want them to do is to get up into like a player's face after a hole
Yes.
and start talking to them in between holes. Like,
Yeah.
I know it's going to like kind of like mess with them a little bit, but it's like, get some perspective. Like, oh, what are you thinking about going in this hole? Blah, blah, blah. And like, just a brief, I think that'd be awesome. Like that gives me a little more insight into the players during the actual round.
Well, and the PGA does that a little bit, right? Like especially on the turn, like if they're from 9 to like
absolutely.
they'll do that. Well, they'll catch them real quick while they're walking down the cart path. Like, hey, what do you think? And then they'll be like, whoa, blah 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 blah, and then they'll just keep walking.
You're like, yeah, thanks for your time. Like even see that, you see that in almost any like NFL, NBA game. Like in between quarters, they're like, oh, we caught up with so and so. Here's what they thought about this going into the quarter, or going into the half, or whatever. So
yeah. And I wouldn't understand why that wouldn't work, but disc golfers are finicky creatures.
That's true.
They're finicky creatures. Like, don't put drones on the course because that buzzing is going to mess with my putting. Shut up. Like, no, it's not. Like your mind is the one messing with your putting. You're not strong enough in your mind. You'll put music in your ear, but a buzz of a drone? Like, seriously?
Right.
Jeepers creepers. So, anyways, all right. Anything else on that?
No, not too much. But so the survey, like there's a 2-part. I only have like part 1. So it says if you could choose live DGN commentators for an event, who would you choose? Number 1 was Earhart. 2 was Sexton. 3, Jeremy Colling. These were all color.
I like Colling. Okay.
Philo is 4. Play-by-play, number 1 is Esa-Pekka Tupala. He's the guy that does like the European stuff. Like I think they're really good.
He is good.
Yes.
Okay.
And then after him was Terry, then Charlie, and then Ian was last.
Yeah. I can see that because I think Ian focuses on the wrong stuff. I think it's stuff that disc golf dorks like.
Sure.
Like we talked about the other day, that old school Innova guy pulls that disc out of his bag.
Yes.
That's Ian.
Yeah.
That's Ian. And he brings that to commentary. So I think that's the issue with Ian is too focused on the detailed minutia that nobody cares about except for that player. And then maybe those hardcore fans, like those super hardcore like fans. But and even them, I don't know if they really care if it's that blue 14-year-old Innova Wraith that they've been throwing. And I know he's been doing less of that.
Yeah.
But I think that's the example. Like I think he gets too much in the minutia. Like he doesn't know how to pull himself out of that.
I did see somewhere, I don't remember where it was, that I think it's kind of split. Like people do want to know discs that players are throwing here and there, that they're like, oh, okay, just curious on like what the disc was.
Right.
Like, Jomez had like the discs at the beginning of the hole. They'd be like, oh, this person's throwing this on the drive or whatever.
Yeah. And I don't think I mind that. I mean, I don't think that's when that is your live commentary.
Yeah.
And we're going back and forth. Oh, that blah, blah, blah. It's just like, well, why? Like other than for brand recognition and you're being paid for it. Like, why would you mention brand and disc in a live broadcast?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
I mean, because where else do you hear like, oh, they had the Spalding or the, the Pro V1s, or he's hitting the new whatever blades for golf, or
that's true.
Like I guess so. I think that's why you lose that a little bit. And because honestly, I think Ian, I love him as a personality. Like I really like him as a personality, but I can see how he ranks down there on it. Above Terry Miller, I think Terry Miller just brings a level of confidence and sureness to it that makes it a lot easier to digest. So yeah, I can see that.
And then post-produced people were saying that Sexton, Colling, Yuli, Luke Humphreys, and then Madison and Eric Stinchcombe, and then Paul Oman, and then a couple other people. And I think that's just, the popularity of Yuli, Nate, and Colling. That's just because I think the majority of people watch Jomez over anything else.
And their dynamic is fantastic.
Oh, yeah, right.
Their dynamic is fantastic.
I do think sometimes, though, that Yuli and Colling together, like, obviously because Sexton has to, like, take a step back from, but he kind of reined everybody in.
Yes.
You know, because sometimes Yuli and Colin kind of gets off the rails a little bit. And then, you know, because Jeremy's like usually like the play-by-play, and then every once in a while he'll slip into like some like color stuff, you know, and just kind of, it just gets a little jumbled, and then like you need that center to kind of bring it in.
Yeah, and their dynamic as a trio is fantastic. Like if you had a Mount Rushmore of commentators, they would be on the Mount Rushmore.
Oh yeah,
as one of the heads, you know, like as one of the heads, and I feel that I think that is some of that dynamic that Nate brings to that trio. Is like you said, he's kind of he's the rails.
Yeah.
He's the rails. Like he's your bumpers when you're bowling, or he's the rails that the train sits on. Like he keeps it on the track or in the lane, which is really important for those two, because it is funny when they're together. They'll even get to the point where they're like bickering at each other every once in a while, and you're like, it's funny, but you're just like, is this appropriate? You know, like,
yeah, right.
It's entertaining though. Yeah. So, anything else on those surveys?
No, not not in the context of like, I don't know. That's just pretty much it. As far as like, there's like weird. What is the relationship between the number of commentator appearances and their likelihood of being chosen to fill a person's? Interesting. Like Nate or Brian Hertz, like high on people's like dream booth as far as like wanting him in the booth, and you know, Sexton, Coling, Philo.
Maybe I haven't been listening to Earhart recently enough. I just like, has he really been killing it? Because I know he made a very active effort about 4 years ago saying, this is what I want to do. So this is what I'm going to pursue.
Well, I used to listen to the Flight Diaries a lot when that was out, and I think he was trying to resurrect that a little bit. And then now he's got the podcast No Birdies, All Bogeys No Bogeys, All Birdies. I forgot how it goes, but with Nate Perkins, you know, that's a Jomez one. I haven't really listened to that too much, but it seems like to have the passion for disc golf, and you need to try to focus that somewhere, right? Because he left, you know, playing a couple of years ago. And so commentary is that thing. You can surround yourself and talk about something that you love. And I think that's a really good avenue for him. Because, like, I don't know how much coaching he's doing either. Like, because he was doing, like, form checks and stuff like that online. And I think he was definitely coaching with Yuli for a while. Like, in North Carolina and stuff.
Power Series or whatever that was.
Yeah, that too. So, if this is it, like, yeah. I think that, like, if he's hyper focused on it, that's good. And he does bring that like level of sophistication, like to disc golf, but also he can explain it in a way that isn't snobby, like uptight, snobby, that kind of thing. Like an everyman's commentator.
Yeah, I'll have to take a listen to him and see, because I don't know if I recognize him as a standout in anything that I've heard, but I haven't really listened to a ton of disc golf recently.
Yeah.
So I'll have to check into that. I like that. I'm glad he's coming up on everybody's lists, you know. But I noticed that Nate Doss isn't anywhere close to any of these lists.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I hate picking on the guy, but I'm just like, you know, and like I said, I'll say this again, he's probably a fantastic man. Like, this is no, like, I'm not bashing him or his character. This is just the product he delivers. That's it. And he probably makes great beer too. I mean, I'm assuming he makes awesome beer. But, you know, it's just like, I just don't like his voice on commentary.
Right.
So let's talk about the studio in Milwaukee. Am I wrong or am I right? There was a studio built in Milwaukee for Johnny V and Terry and their crew to do production out of for the Disc Golf Network, right?
Yeah, as far as I remember, there was one that for sure, because like Milwaukee was supposed to be the hub, I thought, for technological sides of things.
Yeah.
But I think Johnny has kind of gotten out of that. So maybe they're splitting that or moving it somewhere because they were trying to do more on-site stuff.
Okay.
So maybe that's where it shifted. But I do know that there was a number of times where people would have to travel into Milwaukee to do, whether it was like Silver Series stuff or whatever. But yeah, I thought it was supposed to be a hub for DGN.
That's what I thought. And I thought they built a studio, they rented a place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm pretty sure that was all the case. So I'm assuming it's no longer a thing.
Yeah, I don't know. We could try reaching out to Terry about it.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I might have his number. Yeah, that would be something that I would like to know. Like, does it exist anymore?
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, I mean, like, it's no big deal. It's just like, well, why? You know, because I thought that was kind of like the booth, like go to camera 1, go to camera 3, like you see in studios.
Yeah,
and stuff.
right.
I thought that was kind of the thing, but I don't know if I have. I think I used to have it. Nope. Okay. So okay. I think
He's on Whatnot and everything else sometimes. Maybe that's an interesting question to
Yeah.
ask him, or just shoot him a DM.
Yeah, I saw him doing a live broadcast. It was like him, and then he had, I don't remember. It was somebody. It was another pro that was like on his Whatnot stream
okay.
as well. So he was like sharing the cast with it. So disc golf over the last like month has just taken off on Whatnot all of a sudden.
It really has.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah.
I mean, but they are doing those incentives and they're giving kickbacks and stuff like that for sellers on Whatnot. So, hey, if you're interested, man, just go on there. And I don't know if we get a kickback if you mention Door Disc Golf, but
Yeah, I don't
just
know.
jump on there and start selling stuff, man. Like, that's great. More avenues, more exposure, more everything.
Speaking of kind of like, this kind of goes along, like talking about kickbacks and stuff. Did you see the PDGA now has a program with manufacturers where they're featuring a new manufacturer every month?
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So this month, it's dynamic discs,
Mm-hmm.
and for PDGA members, you get 15% off
Really?
with
Okay.
whatever company or manufacturer is that month.
So the PDGA is seeing a slump in their growth, and they're trying to incentivize growth in the PDGA program by giving discounts to manufacturers to get discs.
Yeah.
That's a pretty substantial discount too, 15%.
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
You know, especially direct to manufacturers.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it tickles me the wrong way. I'm going to be the naysayer here. It tickles me the wrong way because WTF, why are they going straight to manufacturers when we have all these retailers out here that are the ones that actually serve the ground and, you know, the grassroots movement? Like, what the heck? You know what I mean? Like, why are
Yeah.
you not partnering with like someone like, I don't know, Marshall Street or like stuff like
Sure,
that, you
yeah.
know? Like, I don't know. It's just, you're just giving more and more incentives for people to go away from purchasing from the mom and pops and going to, you know, the big brands. You know?
Yeah.
But in the same regard, like, more disc golf is better than less disc golf.
Right.
So
Well, I mean, because
I love it and hate it.
I mean, recently, someone was keeping up with, I think it was on Twitter, X, whatever it's called now, that they're talking about the number of active members, you know, the number, like we've reached, you know, 300 some thousand, almost 400 some thousand, but really the increase is very little. And there's actually only like 28 to like 30,000 active
Yeah.
members of the PDGA. And I'm just like, that is a rather small number when
Yeah.
you think about it. But really, when they're taking away benefits to your membership, it's like, well, why? Why, you know, why sign up? You know, like, okay, I get some money back off of, you know, playing in so many tournaments. Or I think one of the weird benefits that maybe people don't know about, like you can get money off of like Avis or something, or like you get money off of staying at a hotel. I forgot which one, but like I don't think I've ever used that.
Well, I want to say 2016, 17, I think maybe 18, they took it off the card, but your membership card on the back used to have, and I think it was like Comfort Inn and like there was a couple places like that. On the back, it had their logos that you could use them and just walk in and be like, hey, I have this. And it was a discount that you could get branch wide, which was really kind of cool.
Yeah.
I understand why they're going away from it, but I think the inflation of numbers as well is people buying numbers for their kids and their newborns.
Oh, sure.
And I think that's an inflation because, if I were to do that with my kids, all 3 of my kids, like that's 3 inactive members. So only a fourth of our house actually uses the PDJ membership. And I think that's a lot of it because you even hear pros and stuff like they got their PDJ number already. And you're just like, why? Because it's so cheap and you keep it forever. That's why. And I think that might be some of the, it's really cool to see number 400,000 coming up, but it doesn't really mean anything, because at one point I think there was almost 80,000 active members. And now if you're back down to that 20 to 30,000 active members, and an active member, let's say 1 PDGA tournament a year.
Yeah. So
there's only 80,000 or 20,000 when it used to be 80. Like that's a huge drop off.
It is.
And the idea is not to, I don't think the way to fix it is to add a discount to buy more discs. Like I think changing how it operates is probably the most important thing. It sounded like someone was in here, but it must be. But yeah, so I think outside of that, cool. So yeah, go get your PDJ membership and then go to Dynamic Discs.
For the month.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, exactly, for this month. All right, let's see. We got, I'm trying pulling up my notes here. All right, so survey, Studio Milwaukee. Maybe next time we can talk about that. Maybe I'll see if we can reach out to Terry and do it. Okay, so Discraft has officially let go of Gossage.
Yes, officially.
Officially, and no speculation on why or how. It's just he's gone, right? Nothing has been said of where he's going.
Nope, haven't heard a sniff. Corey Ellis also left Discraft.
Okay, yeah.
Haven't heard anything about him. Presnell took a demotion to, what's the team down? I forgot what, under the...
I don't remember. There's so many different levels. And
I know.
It's crazy. I was looking on the Innova site just before we started, and it was like, you have 14 levels of your team, man. Like, what's going on?
Oh, tour team. Elite team from tour team.
Okay.
And I don't know where I saw it, but they were talking about how it was probably going to happen because last year the number of people on the elite team had jumped. And so they want to keep it around 10. And it was up to 13. Because when Ricky came, it was already pretty inflated. And obviously he's going to join the elite team rather than be on tour team. So yeah, they just kind of had to drop some numbers.
I wonder if there's a certain because I know they had that, what was it, a legacy team or... They have that one that Nate Doss and Valerie Jenkins. Yeah. And those guys
Johansson's on it, I think.
Johansson's on it.
Yuli. Yeah.
I wonder if there could be another level for the guys like Macbeth and Paige Pierce and Ricky.
Yeah, right.
Because they're on another level.
It's almost like DD has it, the world champion team.
Yes, that's right.
You have your because they'd be the 3 world champions and you drop it down to next level. And then, I don't know, you could do something kind of like that.
Yeah, because then it would differentiate because then they're not worried about the elite. And I feel like the elite team is the active roster that's out there grinding, doing that stuff. But they're the good ones, they're the ones that are actually making some money. Handley, I think, is solidly on that team.
Oh, yeah.
And stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So, did she renew? Because she's coming up for contract, right?
Yeah, as far as I do remember, I haven't heard or seen anything about her renewing. Paige is still off, a free agent. She hasn't announced anything, but you think that they would mention that they were not going to resign yet.
Right.
Right? I mean, the tour does start February 27th, so there's still a really good amount of time before anything can be announced. Valerie Mandajano announced that she's also re-signing. So that's as far as I know, Ezra and Anna Mahamis are the only 2 other free agents I can think of from Discraft right now. But even them, they haven't really mentioned anything.
What about Brodog? Is he still... Because I know he's still throwing the roaches. He's doing that ace challenge right now, ace a day, which is good, by the way. I'm glad he's doing it.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's staying. I would
I
assume.
would assume
why
so.
not? Yeah. I mean, he might go into their like celebrity team or whatever, but okay. Any speculation of where Gossage is going?
Man, I don't know.
I'm sure he's hitting up every single team there possibly could be.
Yeah.
Every manufacturer.
I mean, I could see there's a couple like I don't see like Innova's probably not gonna like they made an exception for Vino and KJ. You know, I could see him going to like Prodigy. I could see Lat 64 would be like a decent pickup, I think, for him.
Wouldn't Prodigy? Wasn't he on Prodigy? I
don't
he was
know.
a Prodigy guy for
Maybe
some
he
reason.
I don't know. Not sure.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't remember where he was before Discraft. Open bag. I like if he likes throwing Discraft discs.
Yeah.
Why not just go open bag and like sign with Infinite or something like that, and you can just do it that way.
Yeah. I still think Drew Gibson was on to something with moving that direction, going to open bag, taking other, sponsorships. And Holland Finley, did I say that right? It's not Holland Finley. Holly Finley.
Holly Finley.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Holly Finley did it too, where there was that short period where she was she still on the Innova team?
Yeah, but she was looking for like sponsors.
Yeah, where she was kind of like
she was kind of like
selling shirt space, like canvas space.
Yeah.
And I thought that, I think that's smart-ish.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because I got to say this. We were in the Gala or Sandbox,
Yeah.
and they have those dart machines there.
Okay.
There were 3 guys over by the dart machine, like fully darted up, like
Really?
jerseys, all that stuff.
Like
And
they're
I'm
in a
looking
team
around.
or what?
Yeah, almost like that.
Okay.
But they were wearing like the jerseys, and they had like headbands and like wrist guards, and like it was
Wow.
They were like crazy.
Okay.
And I'm sitting there watching. I was trying to figure out like are they there playing a competition or what's going on? They were just there with their buddies and girlfriends, but they were darted out like.
Wow.
It was actually kind of funny to me. I was just like, huh. But with that being said, they had a bunch of like sponsorships all over their shirts. I don't know if they were just jerseys that had like they were just replicas of pro darters. Do you
Okay.
call them darters? What do you call them?
I don't know, throwers, I guess.
Throwers of the
Dart
darts.
throwers, yeah.
I don't know if they were pros or not, but it was funny. But I could see that happening with disc golf.
Sure.
Especially now at this point where manufacturers are starting to be like, oh, you're just not worth it. And we don't have enough money and we don't want to spend the money there. We're not prioritizing it there. I can see that starting to happen. And I think, like I said, Drew and Holly, I think Finley were just a little bit ahead of their time with it. You know? And you see that all over the place. Like you'll see it all over the place. It was just like Discraft with their why can't I think of that plastic with the fire in the rim and all that stuff?
Fused.
With their fused plastic. Like they did that a long, long time ago. But then the tone came out and then they did it again.
Sure.
Just to be like, hey, we've been doing this for a while. This isn't new.
Yeah, right.
And so, yeah, anyways. Just like the Rakuten and the Michelin with the grip technology that Discraft is running now.
Oh.
Or Project Grip, right?
Project Grip. Yeah.
So it's different, but
different, but yet
very similar.
Similar.
It's still the same. All right. So yeah, I mean, I don't have any information that I can give on where Gossage is going. Like, who knows? If I were to speculate, I don't know if I would see him going to a House of Disc brand just simply because of monies and what they're trying to do. Maybe to the Discmania family.
Okay. I could maybe see that.
But I think outside of that, I think you're right. I don't think Prodigy's going to spend money. I mean, it's outwardly said by the CEO.
No. No, this is... So I was on social media, and Miss Frisbee's, Chantal Budinsky, like, she was on Prodigy. Mm-hmm. She announced that she's leaving. And so she gave this really thought-provoking and like insightful reason what had happened. And so she basically said that Shoestrick or Prodigy offered her a contract, and it was much less than what she was willing to take, but they wanted her to do the exact same amount, if not more, social media wise and everything else than what she was doing. And she was unwilling to take the contract. Yeah, compromise. So, I think, she didn't speculate how much it was or anything, but, obviously disc golfers know their worth or what they think they're worth. And, I wouldn't compromise that.
No, you're right.
So, yeah.
If in your mind you think you're worth something, go ahead and stand on that hill. Like, that's completely fine. But the reality is you're worth what you're paid. You know what I mean? Like what someone's willing to pay you. You know? And you can stand on, it's women's soccer, it's WNBA, it's, you are only worth what someone is willing to pay you.
Yeah.
And that's not a worth of character. That's not a worth of person. That's not saying that you're not worth, life. It's just saying this is a transaction of two things, you know? So I'm not making any judgments that way. I'm not saying that women are worth less or men are worth more or whatever that is. I'm just saying that I am only willing to pay for a job what I feel is appropriate to get it back, right? So if you feel that you are worth more than that, then go somewhere else, do it. Like and there's been plenty of times where I've had employees come up to me and be like, hey boss, I can get, $3 more an hour over here. And I will gladly be like, I am super happy for you and I think you should take that. Or I'll be like, well, no, I think I can match that.
Okay.
But for the most part, I'm like, hey, I'm super happy for you because we don't play that game. Like, if this job is worth this much, we're not going to play the game where we're going to pay you $20 or $12 to $25 an hour. No, we're going to be in that like 20 to 25. We're not going to have that huge of a gap. And so I think what disc golf is happening, like I said, it's the business. It's the behind the scenes. It's the stuff that make business owners and managers look bad because you're watching the dollar signs, and I can't pay you anything if there's no business.
Yeah.
But I can pay you this and we'll be able to, based on speculation, to continue to thrive, you know? But Will Schuster has made it very clear that he doesn't feel that pro players are worth it.
Sure. Because same thing with Prodigy. Well, they announced today that Luke Humphreys signed a 2-year extension as captain of the core team. And then just a couple of days ago, AJ and Deanne Carey announced that they won't be full-time touring anymore. They've decided to go a different route. And I can see that, Deanne's a fairly decent player, like FPO-wise. AJ is kind of middling down. I don't want to say near the bottom, but like he just didn't see his name, right?
Yeah.
And at that point, you have to decide. I'm sure it's the same situation. Like Prodigy's probably going to offer them less than what they were making the year prior, and it's like, well, we just can't make this work. We have to explore other avenues of income, and play some local A tiers, B tiers, whatever. It's not that you can't still be a pro, but you're just not going to be a sponsored pro.
Yeah, I agree. I think any player going to Prodigy should really dot their I's and cross their T's and watch their P's and Q's and all that other stuff, because whatever thing you can say, because man, Prodigy seems to be putting a lot of weight on the players they recruit to do the legwork of marketing their company. What do they do to market their company?
That's hard to. I mean, they got into the tour scene last year with Go Throw, right? That was fully sponsored by Prodigy. Luke and Paul Ullman were commentators, but other than that, I couldn't tell you. And I don't even know how many people watch Go Throw. Numbers wise, I don't know, but
yeah, and I think that's a value in the asset of the person of Luke and Paul. Well, Paul, but of Luke primarily, saying, "Hey, we can do this. We like you. We like what you're doing." And I bet you that's more of a support thing.
Sure.
But like, why are we not on traditional media sources and marketing sources competing with the other larger brands? Like, there's, it's funny. There's pioneers in the business, absolutely 100%. In every business, there's pioneers, but there's also the pack that does what's appropriate to keep their business going, right? So there's that middle of the road people that like, this is standard operating procedures, and we should follow through with these things. And Prodigy's like, what? Oh, is that a fire starter? Is that what you're telling me? Like, we should just like completely ignore good business practice, and we're just gonna like do our own thing because we think we're trailblazers. But yet we see our market share drop. Can it drop more? You know what I mean? Like, other than Lone Star, like you might be able to get below Lone Star, but like,
Sure.
come on, man. Like, just. And this is I don't know Will Schustrick, but the reality of it is he's been in disc golf his entire life.
Yeah.
What else has he done
Tough to say.
to run a business like that? You know what I mean? So it's hard. It's hard because any other business owner or any other disc golf manufacturer, like CEO, president, owner, they've all done something way different. They're not disc golfers that own a disc golf company.
Yeah.
Maybe Innova is the exception. But even that, he was still like a college professor prior to that, and then owned a surf shop or something. I don't remember what it was. But there was something, but he had prior experience. And then there's Will, like make some better choices with how you're spending your money, prioritize it, like sit down with some business and financial advisors and actually take the advice and not think that you know what the best resource is when everybody in the industry is doing something completely different and they're following market trends and you're just breaking the market trends the wrong way. Like you're going down the wrong way. So anyways, I'm done.
Right on.
Yeah. So outside of that, any thought-provoking?
Oh, I was just going to announce.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, real quick. That DGA this morning also announced their tour team. So Katrina's back, Sully's back, Cole's back. Mm-hmm. Shoot, let me just get back to Eli Ezra. They moved Andrew Miranda up to their tour team. Okay. Jake Munn's back. Did I say Andrew Marweed?
Yep.
Okay, I did say Andrew Marweed, Katrina. And then they signed Jaden Rye, who was let go, or he didn't renew with, I think it was Meridian. And I thought he was with Hooligan too, but maybe it was just Meridian Discs.
Well, it makes sense. I mean,
yeah, Meridian and Hooligan.
Yeah.
So yeah, he just got signed to DGA as well. So
great.
There was speculation for a little bit that maybe Sully and Cole could move over to Discraft, but yeah, they're staying put.
All right. Now here's your chance. Thought-provoking or inspirational.
Okay. This isn't thought-provoking not yeah, kind of thought. It's not a question, but obviously, like I'm not trying to get political with this, but countries in some turbulent times, and these situations often can separate divided people and beliefs and whatnot. And it's just foster your friendships the best way you can, even though we have social divides or political divides, whatever they are. That doesn't define who you are as a person. It may define your values and things, but you can still find value in your relationships with these people that you don't necessarily see eye to eye with in certain terms, but it just doesn't mean you abandon them.
Right. I love that. It goes along with a inspirational quote that was given to me the other day. And I think it is, now I'll make it Wisconsin after I tell you what I was told.
Okay.
So, be the surprise onion ring in someone's fries.
Oh, okay.
And I figure be the surprise cheese curd in someone's fries.
Ah, yes.
Because there's nothing better than getting me like, ooh, bonus. You get a little onion ring with your fries or your cheese curd with your fries. I agree with that. 100% because there is some turbulence that people take very personally, whether it is personal or not. And we are not ones to judge whether it's personal or not and how it affects you. But to completely ignore someone's humanity just because they have a value difference. And values change, just because they currently have a value difference in you and they see a situation a little different than you completely get rid of them. That is really lacking humanity. And a lot of times kind of shudders in the face of what you're mad about. You know what I mean? Like, why would you do something like that and dehumanize people? And then you're like, I hate you. You're a horrible person just because you feel like this is a good move. Like, come on, man. Like open up your eyes. Like, and it happens across the board. So I love that. I love that a lot. So good job with that one.
Thank you.
That's a little that's a bit granola-y, but it's good. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, with that being said, anything else?
No, that's about it.
All right. So just keep it subpar and deuces in the toilet today. Speaking of, yesterday was a bad day for me. It was a bad day. It was not bueno. So now that you know that, have a good day.